apologize to those of you viewing on Instagram because, to be honest, I have no idea how to set up those automations. But the link is in the comments over on Facebook. Eventually, I will figure out how to set up those automations. If somebody knows how to do that, feel free to share it. Anyway, yeah, we got back from Aspire last night, and unfortunately, we did not take that extra step to get that box checked. We're going to rectify that. So, super happy. I got a new book. I got a free book. I got a couple free books. So I thought I would take some time to share these because I am always thankful for the books that I get. Some of you might have seen on my Instagram a while ago, I shared $100 million leads, which I got from the two gentlemen on the Think Big podcast. It's been instrumental in some of the things that I've been doing. And I'm still listening to that book till this day, audio book. I mean, I have not gotten through the full actual physical book yet, but I could probably recite chapters by heart at this point, which is kind of scary. So yeah, now this has nothing to do with business or real estate, but a little while ago I got very interested in the Amazon rainforest and some things surrounding, some science surrounding it. Not only the Amazon rainforest, but a period called the Younger Dryas. And so for Christmas, one of my friends was kind enough to get me a book called The Invisible Iceberg with Climate and Weather Shaped History. So grateful for this. I will definitely find some time to crack this open. I think the Younger Dryas hypothesis is really fascinating, and once they prove it is true, there's already a astounding bit of evidence that it is. I think the history of humanity could definitely be rewritten. So there's the Invisible Iceberg. Courtesy of Mr. Jim Quick, being a part of one of his communities, I got a book from Chase Jarvis, Never Play It Safe. This is another one I have not got to read. I will show the book that I am currently reading for those of you who might not know after this. Never Play It Safe serves as a radically simple blueprint to reclaim our creativity and personal power. A guide to rediscovering the true self. Oh, this actually sounds really interesting. Okay. This will probably be something that I'll read after my current book. Tips on focusing, attention, time, intuition, constraints, play, failure, and practice. Time and attention, definitely two of our most valuable assets. So I am definitely looking forward to digging into this. After, I guess I'll go ahead and show this book now. After I finish the current book I'm reading, and I start implementing all the tools and techniques that I'm finding throughout here. And that is breaking the habit of being yourself. A lot of cool concepts in this book, quantum theory and whatnot. A lot of stuff that I wouldn't say that I already knew, but I already had an idea of. And this book is really just helping me to cement some of those principles. And find that new version of myself that is going to thrive in 25. So, last but not least, from someone I recently just started following. I don't remember where I even popped on and saw that this book was being given away, but super cool. Interested in reading this. I don't know how soon I'll be able to apply this, just because this just doesn't sound like it's going to be my primary focus in this coming year. But it is Main Street Millionaire by Codie Sanchez, and recently just started following her. She is booming in the business this world. And some of her, just from seeing some of the tweets and whatnot she's sharing, some of the tips, she is like seems really freaking awesome. I'm very interested in diving in and learning about more what she's doing. And so yeah, those are just some books that I wanted to share because I am always grateful for new books. Always grateful for a new source of knowledge, a new source of something that I can apply in my everyday. And so I wanted to share that because I did share $100 million leads. And though that book has serves, a different purpose in my life right now, I figured I might as well show the rest of the books I'm reading. So there is that. Now, as I didn't get a chance to do yesterday, I'm going to walk through some of the stuff that I took away from Aspire. I believe I didn't do day 2 either. So we're going to take a look at that. Run through some stuff really quick. So you'll have to forgive me as I drive through some of my notes, try to jog some of my memories, and get some points here to talk about. All right. So day 2 started off with Eddie Wilson talking about the 5 C's of lending. Okay, and that's going to be collateral, credit, cash, character, and credentials. These are the things that we're looking at when we're talking about doing some loans. Collateral is pretty simple. That's going to be the way for the lender to get their money back. And so I think this is going to be helpful for anyone listening who's learning to use private money, learning to use other people's money, having some collateral available. Even if maybe you can't put skin in the game, but you can put more collateral up, that can definitely help you secure some better terms. Credit. A lot of lenders do look at credit, regardless if it's private lending or not, because your credit helps determine how good of a borrower that you might be. Now, there was an interesting point brought up about you could have a low credit score, but still be a good borrower. For instance, in the example provided, this one person lived in I believe it's Philadelphia. They own a ton of rental properties, and apparently in the city of Philly, you are not allowed to put if you own the rental property, you are not allowed to put your water bill in the tenant's name. And so, this person had a low credit score because of all the times their tenants have missed payments. And so that is just something that, you want to be aware of, not just not just the low credit score, but actually why the credit score is low. Why are they having these issues? Because just because you have a low credit score, it doesn't mean that you are a risky borrower. Cash. Everybody wants to see that you have some skin in the game. If you're able to make those payments, shit hits the fan. How are you going to be able to support that property? This is where you're going to want to have some reserves on hand, most definitely, as well as some sort of down payment. And then of course credentials. Being able to show that maybe you are a new investor, but being able to show that you can leverage someone else's experience, who has the experience, who can walk you through the process, and really be that person for you. That's really your guiding light, so to speak. I got a French press for Christmas. Love it. Freaking love it. I love coffee. Anybody's got some coffee recommendations? Throw them my way. Let's see. Sources. Let's see. Oh, that was a lender I wanted to check out. I'm glad I took that note. Let me just type them into mine. Cool. So this lender that I'm looking at now is of course, I'm not going to really dive into that now, but I just wanted to get their tab open on another screen, make sure that I could come back to that later. So very very good that we are reviewing the notes today, right? As we move into the weekend, move into the weekend. We did talk a bit about foreclosures, learned some really cool strategies surrounding foreclosures. A really cool story about, um, one of the speakers getting started. Not so much getting started, getting restarted, let's say. Um, and it just kind of went to show you that, like, you don't have to have all the answers. You can fumble your way through it, and you'll still get there. The one thing I really want to touch on that is I actually just got off one of my coaching calls, and my mentor brought up the fact that um, you could have smarts and you could have determination. You can have all the smarts in the world, but if you have no determination, you're just smart. You're not doing anything with it. However, on the opposite end of the spectrum, if you have the determination, but you don't have the smarts, you can still bumble your way through it. You can still figure things out as you go along. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to get out there, put in the work, and be consistent. Don't give up. That's what it's all about, right? Um, so without diving too much into that, one of the strategies that was really talked about was um, connecting someone who's gone through a foreclosure with funds that might be left over from the county sale. Because I door knocked foreclosures for about 8 months, and I did know that what happens at an auction is typically the starting bid will be whatever is owed on their property for whatever lien is foreclosing. So if there's $100,000 owed, the bank decides to foreclose. The bank's not all the time. We're going to put in that first bid for 100,000, so they make sure they get their money back, and that's where the bidding will start from there. Someone will have to bid 101, right? And so in that case, if they bid it up to 100, 150, the bank was only owed 100. The bank only takes 100. That 50 is still sitting there. Okay, so the question was, what happens to it? And that money is now going to sit at the county or with the attorney for a short time. But that money actually can go back to the homeowner. Now, most people don't know this. So there was an idea brought up that you could help those homeowners recoup those funds. So that's another solution that us as real estate investors and business owners can learn to give back to our communities and those people that really need the help. Right. So, that was that. There was also some cool stuff about buying second liens, getting the trustees deed from butcher this. I'm gonna revise my explanation because it's 6 ways to Sunday and get you guys the wrong information. Unfortunately, I can't even see if anybody's in. All right. So foreclosures, talking about those lien positions. A lot of foreclosures on day 2. Day 3 learned another really cool tip, and that is when it comes to probate, hiring a genealogist. One of the deals they were talking about, they actually ended up getting into a lawsuit because the heirs did not tell them about the 2 other heirs that needed to learn about this property, or that needed to be, included on the discussion of what was going to happen to this property. And they ended up in a lawsuit. And what they found was the best way to get out of that was to, from the start, hire a genealogist. And that way, anytime they're dealing with a probate situation, they can have all the information they're going to need up front. And it's not that, that sellers are going to be liars. There might be some that are, not telling you the truth for one reason or another. But there could be times where, someone's living in a house and, Uncle Jim might be one of the heirs, and he might not be getting a piece of the property because he hasn't lived there. He lives across the state. He's the person living in the property is just paying all the bills, doing all the things. And so why would they? That person living there is probably not even thinking about why they would get a cut of anything. So that's something to think about. Hiring a genealogist, right? Um, talk about the time of probate, typically 3 to 6 months. Typically costs 3 to 5K to go through that process. Another cool thing we talked about was that code liens can actually be negotiated. I didn't know that. I thought you just had to do the fix, fix whatever the code violation was, and then go back to the county, pay the fine, and then you're good. But as long as there are no associated hard costs, you could actually get that lowered to about 10%, which is super cool. Yeah, and then we talked about the K wave, the markets being cyclical. So there's always going to be a rise and fall in the markets. You just have to learn to play the right game at the right time to be able to capitalize on the market trends. Okay, so there's essentially never a bad time to buy. You just have to make sure that you're playing to the right strategy that's going to get you to where you're trying to go. And I got a very nice quote from Warren Buffett: "Cash combined with courage in a time of crisis is priceless." Wealth is created in the bottom of the market. This is not from Warren Buffett. Wealth is created in the bottom of the market. Prices will lower. People will run. Buy low, sell high. Hashtag myself. All right. We talked about a little bit of commercial. I kind of missed out on that because I was trying to look at another opportunity. I was trying to look at another opportunity. I'm not going to go too much into that right now because I'm still waiting to see how things pan out and see how we're going to get this done. One way or another, we're going to figure it out because it falls in line with what I'm already doing, and that is that funding right there. That funding, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm trying to do more of, just a little bit of a different way. So we will. I'll give you updates as the process has more of a concrete conclusion. But I really don't want to talk about things that I'm not really doing. So yeah, just don't want to talk out my ass. Okay. Okay, so going back to the multifamily, and then we talked about some lease options, sandwich lease options to be specific. Think of it like Airbnb arbitrage or something similar. So you have a property. Somebody owns that property. You go up to them and you say, "Hey, I want to rent this property, but I want the option to sublease it, which means you can lease it to somebody else, right?" And so that's essentially what you can do. Um, and then you just want to make sure you structure it properly so that you have not only good cash flow on one end, but you're also covering your ass in case anything happens with your tenant. So that's just something to be aware of. And those are my notes from Aspire for more. Yeah. Other than that, today was a bit of a snow day. We were supposed to get about 7 to 9 inches in the beginning. We only got about 2 to 4 today. So I took day off from my W-2. I had no intention of going in regardless. And I stayed home to work on a couple of things, connect with some people from the event yesterday, or at least attempt to. And then I looked more into the Aspire setup that I'm doing and worked on some more editing. Unfortunately, it looks like I am going to lose my consistency streak. I think it's kind of already lost. It's already broken. But at the same time, once I finish this, like everything's going to be so much easier. The way I'm looking at it is that right now I'm getting a ton of experience from being able to sit and do all this editing, learn all these things, and I'll hopefully never have to edit this many videos at once ever again because it is stressing the hell out of me. I'm ready for the process to be done, and we're kind of finalizing the last steps tonight. Um, Actually, tomorrow I should have. Um, I should be able to get. I'd say should. There's 97 videos. Get them uploaded to my post planner and get those scheduled out. And as of course, have new content coming as I come up with more things and find new topics to educate and talk about. Because I could sit here and talk about DSCR loans till I am blue in the freaking face. Talk about all type of loans till I'm blue in the freaking face. But there's only so much you can talk about loans. So I'd rather talk about scenarios, answer questions that you guys might have. Um, and right now we're going to be working on. I got a couple things in the works. Had a couple more people reach out to me, so that's good. I'm gonna get back out there, start doing some more networking, try to pick things back up. I am going to pick things back up. We're going to remove that word try from the vocabulary, and we're going to do. This year is all about doing in 2025. So with that, we are on the 7th. That's set for tomorrow. So we are on day 6 of the 75 hard. We woke up a bit late this morning, so we didn't get our snow run in, but that's probably a good thing because it's probably hazardous out there. We'll find out because I still need to get my 45-minute outdoor exercise in. So I'll be tacking on those snow boots and getting outside to do a walk. Probably after dinner. So that'll be a good time. Still gonna do my progress photo. I do have to drink a little bit more water. Honestly, not a ton. This is the second fill of the day. I actually downed this thing so quickly this morning, it was kind of insane. So I decided to fill her back up, and now she is just sitting and waiting. So pretty successful day altogether, all things considered. 75 hard's going well. Tomorrow I will be meeting with my mortgage coach and kind of planning on a direction to go from the task he gave me to complete over the break, over the holiday break. And I did get most of it done. I kind of got sidetracked with this whole video thing. So we're making strides. We're making strides in the right direction. As with anything, we're just going to have to work some of the kinks out. So yeah, but that is kind of all I got for tonight. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, anything you want me to talk about, anything you want to hear about, learn about, whatever, drop it on my IG. That being said, one of the things I will do is I would love to interact with some of the people on IG, especially because some of you guys from the Aspire event might be tuning in. Gosh, I met so many cool people at that event over the past weekend, and it just really resonated with me because every time I go to an event like that, and I'm like, meeting all the people, doing all the things. I just feel like I'm living that dream life that like I don't even want to go my W2 tomorrow. I can't just cash out on that just yet. But we're gonna get to the point where we can, and I'm looking forward to seeing the relationships that come out of the Aspire event. So super grateful for those relationships, the people I met. Hope you are all doing well. Hope you all made it home safely. got out of there before the snow hit. Or how much snow was supposed to hit DC. But yeah, that's kind of all I got tonight, guys. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'm gonna finish downloading these videos. I'm gonna start uploading them, get some captions on them, and then we're just gonna start scheduling. Probably come up with a set plan for how I want to do that. But really, captions don't take that long. And then the other thing I just got to do is add some B-roll, make things look fancy, keep attention, and then I need to start brainstorming some new ideas because there's always something more to learn. And the more I learn, the more I want to share with you guys because we're all in the business of learning and growing together. So, without further ado, I'm going to sign off, figure out what the plan is for today, get that editing done, and I'm going to take my 45-minute stroll. I will see you peeps tomorrow. Tomorrow? Oh, tomorrow is the Think Big podcast. So if you're not following Marlon Johnson or Sam Singh on Instagram, highly suggest you do. Follow them on YouTube, Instagram, whatever. But YouTube is where they will live stream. They are always dropping a ton of value. I will be showing up there at 7 p.m. tomorrow. So I am aiming to do my live. Let's see, let's do a quick check. Let's see. It really depends how long my coaching call lasts. Because I had that right before. So I could do a quick one. Yeah. I don't think it's going to take an hour, though. I'm going to aim for 6. If not, then I will just pop in for 8. And I'm thinking of doing this new thing where I come on and talk about what I learned through the Think Big podcast. That's going to force me to take more notes, force me to be more present. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. So, hope you guys have a great night. I will see you tomorrow at, we're aiming for 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. But definitely tune into the Think Big podcast. Those guys are always dropping a ton of freaking value. And then just a heads up, on Wednesday, I have a meetup in PA. If anybody's in PA, closer to the southern area. I know Philly is a bit far for this. So if, we got the Antietam Brewery meetup, sub 2, some really cool dudes running that. Andy Hill, Brandon Thomas, check those dudes out. They're doing some really cool stuff, acquiring some properties and whatnot. Interested to see what they've got cooked up for the meeting on Wednesday. But yeah, I will catch you guys later.